So the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about depression and what it really is, how it affects you, your loved ones, things to kind of help support people with depression. So today, I thought it would be a good idea to hear directly from someone who has helped someone through depression, like that has like kind of been with them through it, and the challenges and just how rough it really is. We talked about before how depression is not something that you can control. It's not oh, you just had a bad day. Oh, I'm depressed today. I'm just depressed. Or, oh, I just feel so had a thank you all for joining. Hi. It's not like, you broke up with your boyfriend, so now you're depressed. Now you might feel sad, and that is a valid feeling, but depression is more than just feeling sad due to a life event. It's different. And the people that do struggle with depression, like I did this illustration before, but so this is like the person. So this is like me when I was struggling with depression, or still kind of do go back and forth, whatever. So this is me, and then this is the depression. So I'm like la 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 at work, hey everybody, and then here comes the depression, and I'm like shut down, walk over to my desk, may cry, who knows. What's wrong with you? I don't know. But you probably need to get out more. That probably will help. If you get out more, you should pick a hobby. What do you like doing? You should definitely pick a hobby. That'll definitely help you. And I like to go shopping. You want to go shopping with me? No, that's not okay. I don't know if that'll make me feel better. Well, girl, you just want to be sad, right? So, all horrible things to say to someone who is aware or unaware that they are battling with depression. So, I told you guys before how I had that one friend that was like, did she even change her, I guess, she had to change herself to help me. And what I mean by that is like she's very like black and white, logical thinker. So things is like black and white, no in between. And she's very rational, but I would just go off on her for no reason. Not answer calls, nothing. For just absolutely no reason. She might say something and I'm trying to pick a fight. For what? So that I can not have to deal with my hi Monty. That's my beautiful sister. So I would pick a fight with her, or try to pick a fight with her, or my husband, or whoever else would fight with me. But a lot of people didn't really fight with me. Some people would because they ain't really know. But I would try to pick a fight with her because it was easier for me to fight with her about where we were going to go for dinner and how she didn't respect my opinion about the food we had last time than for me to deal with the hurt and pain that I was suffering. Hey Tiff, what's up Dwayne? And she had to change herself because typically she would be like, okay, ain't nobody got time for this. Like, ain't nobody dealing with that. And she, after kind of like on the outside of it, she told me a lot of stuff that happened during, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Hey, she was very supportive, and I didn't know that. So usually she'd be like, okay, girl, like, you done lost your mind. I'm not arguing with you about this food in this restaurant when we can pick a million other restaurants, but no, I'm sticking on it because she don't respect my opinion, right? Stupid. You said, sorry, who are we talking about? We're talking about the friend that helped me out of the pit when I was in depression, and how she had to change some of her ways, or how she handled life just in general, with being just very black and white and just logical, like, oh, okay, well, if you don't like this restaurant, we can go here, but I'm stuck on whatever else because this makes me feel better. It's easier for me to argue with her about it thunderstorming on Saturday, the percentage, how much percent, the chances of rain on Saturday, than it is for me to deal with the actual hurt that I feel, the emptiness, the loneliness, the guilt and shame that I feel for being sad, for being a burden to people, for not taking care of my kids, for, you know, requiring so much, just because I felt like this is not life. Like, why get up? Why shower? Why do anything? And so I want to invite over, and you guys can feel free to ask questions, my lovely boo. This is like my my other half. She shares, like, me and John are one, and so then she's like an extension of us, because she's, you know, she knows me really well, and she was one of the main people that were there for me, and is probably, I can say, the only reason why I was able, not the only reason, because of course, you know, I had people in church praying for me, but in terms of like actually doing something, like, you know, we talked about before how it's hard to do things for people that are depressed, because they're usually always down, and it can be like, you know, it can be draining emotionally. It's like, dude, why are you always sad? Like, why are you always sad? You have such a great life, or whatever. But, you know, if I was in a body cast, you wouldn't expect me to be cooking food for you. You wouldn't expect me to be walking. But because mental illness is in the mind, it's not something you can physically see. You typically, hey, Dara, it's typically something that people gloss over and they minimize. And that's why the suicide rate for our kids is so high. I mean, the celebrities that commit suicide, I mean, it's just like, I'm sorry, what? Like, you know, it really shows you how serious depression can be. It's not just I'm sad. If it was, then people wouldn't just be killing themselves just because they had a sad day. I mean, like, that would be crazy. Like, dang, you had a sad day and you killed yourself for it? You know, it's like, it's deeper than that. And so I think I said this before, like, people would look at my life like, oh gosh, you know, oh, Serena, you know, she's always laughing or smiling or whatever. So if I was to go commit suicide, which I have no intention of doing, I have no thoughts, I have no plan of, I don't have any ideations of suicide. I don't have any of that. I'm just giving an example. If I was to go do that, the majority of people that know me, will be like, what the heck? Why? But there's a bunch of other people that would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she did that. She told me about that. She said that she was always sad, but I just kind of brushed it off, you know? So, okay. Better broadcast signal. Okay. All right. So I'm only on the Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, so I'm going to try to set it up right here, because I have, okay, so I'm going to ask my friend, her name is Christina, she's going to come over, and I'm just going to ask her a few questions about what it was like for her when she was with me, you know, during that rough period of time. It was super crazy. So, can you guys still hear me? I know it looks like it's only one person left, but I know it disconnected, but can you guys still hear me okay? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Somebody let me know. Just put a thumbs up or something. I know it's delayed, but you can just let me know. Okay, you can hear me. Hi, Imani. I miss you so much. Okay. All right. So, no, it wasn't your app. It was mine. So I think it was my AT&T or whoever I got trying to connect. So I just turned that off and just did the Wi-Fi. So that's better. So okay, I'm gonna invite my friend Christina over, so you guys can hear from her what it was like to help me, and you can also hear about the nickname she gave me too. So what? Okay. Hi. Okay, is it too bright? Can you see? Can you guys see us? Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so this is, hey Lydia, this is my friend Christina, and
hi Imani.
And she was like the rock, besides like my pastors and She was the person that was like there, like, look, I'm gonna feed these kids. You gonna get up, and I would cuss her out and shut the door. And she would still make sure my kids were okay. She would make sure my husband got a break. But it was a lot. So I want you guys to hear from her what it was like to actually help me get through that time. And I'm sure how it probably seemed endless. So, okay. So first, tell me about like how it was. How did you first notice that I was like different, or I had became like depressed, or things were different?
Of course, I didn't diagnose as depressed. I feel that particularly in the Black community, we don't acknowledge depression, especially in the church. Like she mentioned, you think somebody's just having a bad day and then another bad day, and then it's kind of like, listen, you don't have 3 or 4 bad days. Go ahead and pray that off.
Right.
Go ahead and
shake it off.
Shake it off. Go shopping.
Take the shackles off your feet.
Right. Do something to bring yourself out of the situation, because it's no reason for you to feel sad. Your life is great. You have so many things to be thankful for. I felt and thought the exact same things she thought, and I felt that could be overcome. But I think that what helped me the most to understand what she was going through was after I had my son, I had severe postpartum, and I would cry at the drop of a dime. When I would look at him, I'd be sad. I couldn't get myself out of a situation where I felt that life was just not worth living, and the guilt and the oppression of feeling like I was responsible for my son. So in looking at depression and doing a little bit of study about depression versus postpartum, while the triggers for the two are different, the medication and the treatment can be the same. So there are some similarities in the chemical imbalance that occurs with postpartum as well as depression. And during the time that I had the postpartum, I couldn't get myself out of that funk and that sadness no matter what happened. And so I knew that she didn't want to be in the place that she was in, and that we were friends and I needed to be by her side. And that was really all I went off of. It wasn't an option for her to fail or to be alone or for me not to support her, even though I just didn't know what was the best route to make her feel better or to assist her. So I just did what was lacking in her life. She didn't want to really spend time with the kids, or anyone for that matter. Serena really wouldn't return my phone calls. We would talk every day, all day. If I can get her to pick up the phone just so I can come over and clean up the house or get the kids ready for bed, it was like miraculous.
It was. I wasn't talking to nobody.
So I think the point is that your family and your friends, if they're going through this, they're in need, and it's not something they even know how to get out of. And if you're in their life and you can provide some support, then that's what you do. It wasn't a time for me to tell her, she should be doing better. Why hasn't she gotten over this by now? Where's your faith, O ye?
Oh, ye of little faith.
Oh, ye of little
oh,
faith.
Ye. That oppression come off of you.
It was just a time to come forward and give her what she needed, which was, support with the kids, her family, and that was that. And it took some time, because I was coming over for several weeks, every week, a couple of times a week, maybe Tuesday and Thursday, coming over. I would come over with my son, and I get the kids ready for bed, get them something to eat, straighten up the house, and she wouldn't come out the room, not one time. And then when I was ready to go, I would open the door and I say, okay, I'll see you later, love you. Sometimes it was silence. Sometimes I got a bye.
Well, sometimes that's hilarious.
But I don't think that Serena is one of my closest friends, and for me, friendship doesn't have an out. Just like when you're married, you're in it for life, you're in it for the long haul. That's how also I view my friendships. And so I'm in it for the long haul, and I needed to figure out what was the best route to support her. And I did what I thought was best without the judgment, without coming to her with ideas and suggestions on what I thought she should do, because ultimately there wasn't anything that I could diagnose or anything I could give her besides my support and love. So in the end, it worked.
Oh yeah, it did. I'm out. So that was, so I mean, I'm sure you guys can imagine how difficult that was for her. For us being extremely close, talking all the time, laughing. You guys know I work from home, so get a little break while I'm documenting, calling her, laughing. We're all joking, emailing. Maybe on instant messenger or something, and then all of that to just stop. Is it raining? And just for all of that to just stop. I mean, like, it just stopped. Like, one day I just did not answer the phone. And I didn't care. And, I'm a very emotional person, very caring, loving, empathetic. Like, so, if I think that I hurt your feelings, I'm like, let's talk about this, because I don't want you to feel that I hurt your feelings. But I was like, psh, please. And I think it took her a minute to kind of realize what I was really going through, because it's not something that you notice. Like, I didn't notice it. I wasn't like, yeah, I think I'm depressed. Let me let my friends know. Mass text, hey, this is Serena, battling depression. Just want to let you guys know, don't take it personally if I don't respond or if I just go off on you for no reason. Love, Serena. TTYL XOXO. No, I didn't do that. I didn't realize it until one of my friends was like, we used to talk a couple days a week or whatever, and now we don't. And I'm like, yeah, we do. I talk to you. And then she's like, no, the last time we talked was a month ago. And I was like, So then I really started thinking about it. And Christina is not the type that's going to be like, she not about to be like on my head, like, I called you 6 times, you ain't answered the phone. She's going to be like, oh, okay, well, maybe she's busy at work. But obviously, me being busy at work or just sleeping was an indicator. So when she would see me, she would notice the difference. And that's when she came like, okay. Like, so when she said she was coming over to feed the kids or clean up the house, it was like, okay. I mean, thanks. Because I'm going to be in bed either way. So either if you coming to feed the kids, I'm in the bed. If you're not coming to feed the kids, I'm in the bed. And I didn't even really care. I had no thought or I had no desire to prepare or to assist anybody, like, in no way. Because, like I mentioned before, when you're going through that stuff, like, it's like, you already don't want to live. So then people, like she said, she didn't come with no suggestions, because people are like, well, why don't you try this? It's like, dude, did you not hear me say I don't want to live? And you talking about go out to the bookstore and get my favorite book in color? No. I said I don't want to live. So me getting out of this bed is like miraculous. It's like, wow, she got off the bed? I mean, like, there was times where, Christina would have to call me like, did you shower? Sometimes I would answer. Then she'll just text me. Or she'll tell John, like, make sure she showered today. And it wasn't because, it literally be because I would sleep. I would just sleep. Just sleep all day. Was messing up at work. She would try to help me at work. I'm like, yeah, great. Okay. All right, thanks. Whatever. Sometimes she'll call me, shoot her the voicemail just for no reasons. I don't feel like talking. And at the time, I couldn't really explain it. I didn't know what was going on. I don't even know. And I'm a social worker, so I know the signs and symptoms of depression. I know how to diagnose. I'm fully licensed, so I can diagnose with all these mental illnesses and all these things. But I could not recognize that in myself. I just couldn't. It was just like, no. Like, Serena, come on. And I don't know what I thought it was. I don't even know what I wasn't even thinking about it. I actually was just like, I don't care. So I'm going to sleep. I would never forget, I had one of my friend's sons. I was like, I'm not staying awake. Can you have one of your kids come over and just make sure my kids are safe? And so she actually brought one of her older children over, I think, Her son might have been 12 or 13. I can't remember, but she dropped him off over until John got home because Christina came over on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so John could get a little bit of a break. She would cook, take the kids outside, play with them, do whatever, tire them out, put them in the tub. And she has her own son and her, so she's doing all this, managing all this, getting the food ready, and I'm in bed like, and it's not like I'm watching TV or chilling. I'm straight like sleeping away. And so it was, even for the person that's struggling with it, like I had no idea. And so I was like, okay, well, this is kind of strange. Like, let me go to therapy. And so it wasn't until I went to therapy that I was like, wow, okay. So this is what depression is. Like, I mean, I knew it in my head, but how could I be depressed? I mean, like, why? Especially, like Christina said, especially in the Black community. If you are depressed, you might as well be an amputee with nothing. Head off, arms off, legs off, everything. Because we don't talk about our problems to nobody else. You do not need no therapist to talk about your problems. You go tell Nana. You go in there and you talk to Gigi. But you don't share your business with other people, and you certainly ain't paying for it. So you can, and at that time I didn't care about the stigma that was attached to it because I didn't care. I really didn't care. I didn't care what anybody thought. I would just go off. I would just be silent and go off. Like, it was just like no in between. It was never no, oh, okay, yeah, you cool. Okay, cool. It was never none of that. It was always extreme. Either I was extremely down or I was extremely angry or trying to fight, like, for no reason. Well, actually it was for a reason. It was to escape how I felt. So, does anybody have any questions? Questions? You guys can't hear me. Questions? I know a little sign language. Oh, okay. I can have, since you guys, oh, you're welcome. I have a question for her. If you guys don't have any questions, Christina, can you come back over here? You said no, but you love me. I love you too. So what was it like for you? Oh, wait, can you move your head over? What was it like for you, washing dishes, can't type, oh, okay. What was it like for you emotionally, like, going through that, and, like, the fact that you have a son that has special needs, and, you had to care for him, and then come to my house to relieve my husband, to help me through that time, and me just being like, whatever, thank you, no thank you, whatever. How was that like for you emotionally?
I didn't have an emotional side because I just saw you as sick. Just like if someone had pneumonia or someone had bronchitis and they were unable to care for themselves, they would need support. And so I supported you as though you had a sickness, which for all practical terms you did. And I think that if you're looking to support someone who has depression or any kind of sickness of this matter where they can't support themselves, if you're looking for something in return or you're looking to understand the situation emotionally, then it'll make it difficult for you to really help that person 100%. What you were doing completely did not make sense, and as far as the relationship was going, I was getting zero from you. So but I think in relationships sometimes that's the case. You give and take, and sometimes it's not necessarily equal, and that should be okay. And so during that season for you, it was my turn or my time to give to you completely, and if I wasn't getting something in return, that was fine, because you needed my assistance because you couldn't assist yourself.
Now, see, Oh, okay, Tiffany, you said depression is extremely common and people don't believe it can happen to them. It sucks that people are afraid to seek help. I wish more people understood depression. It's not easy to deal with, as you mentioned. No, it's not. And, you know, and I talk about, I think I've talked about relationships and friendships and stuff before, but that is, she to me is like the epitome. She's looking down, but she's the epitome of a friend. Like, she taught me how to be a friend. And I thought I was a pretty good friend. Like, I'm a good friend. But no, she really taught me, like, because I was like, dang, she's coming over here. And I still didn't care. It wasn't until after I was able to kind of get out that I was like, wow. Like, she sacrificed so much time, coordination. I mean, the fact that she even wanted to come over to give my husband a break, you know, because she could have just came over and just sat with me and just listened to me cry, you know. But no, she knew that my kids, she knew that what I needed was my kids to be taken care of. She knew that I needed for my husband to not go crazy. She knew I needed my kids to be fed and to be played with and to feel loved, even though I couldn't show it myself. So that's what she did. And so as a result, my kids, of course they seen mommy sad, but they didn't see me sad. They didn't see me as sad as they would have had she not been there. And so I know that it's, but when you're picking friends or choosing friends or relationships, you know, you really should have a lot of common values, because if not, I mean, like, you know, I don't know. I mean, other people were kind of there, you know. I'm not saying that she was the only person there for me, but she was the only person that was coming to my house consistently, pulling me out. And then we talked about it. She was just like, you know, it makes me emotional, because she was like, you know, there was no choice. Like, you were in this dark pit and I had to get you out. Like, there was no other option. Like, what do you mean? There's no other option. I have to come down there and get you out. And I think that's what a lot of people miss when they're trying to help people with depression. They miss that sometimes you have to get down to their level. You can't just talk them up to your level. You have to get down there with them and try to help pull them up. And that may take forever. I mean, do you remember how long it was? I don't even remember.
It was at least 2.5, 3 months.
Okay.
At least.
Okay.
I had to come consistently.
Yeah, she said 2.5, 3 months when she had to come consistently. I mean, shoot, I know. Yeah, and for her not to get any recognition, or not recognition, but just any kind of thank you. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure my husband probably said thank you, but you know, he's really laid back, so he probably was like, thanks, like, you know, like it wasn't a big deal, because he probably didn't understand it either. Like, why is she coming over here to help? Like, that's, what type of friend is this? Like, whoa, because you know, typically you don't have people in your life that stick by you like that. You know, like, you have friends that are there. So if I call, I mean, there's people that I can call and say, hey, I need such and such and such and such, or, you know, I need help with such and such and such. Bam, they're there. You know, but during this time, you know, it's some people that understood to the magnitude, some people I talk to all the time, and some people I didn't talk to as much. And so when they talk to me, maybe they didn't talk to me, or when they talked to me, I might have been like, just cool. So, but she was the only one that came over consistently, making sure that my kids were taken care of. And if anybody knows me, they know how protective and serious I am about my kids. So that was the most important thing. And she would be exhausted because my kids will wear anybody out. And I only had 2 at the time. So, you know, we have a trampoline in the back swing set, so she'll be jumping all around with the 3 kids, trying to feed them, putting them in the bed. They talking about they don't want the food. You know, I can hear them crying. They don't want to get in the bathtub. They don't want her to leave. Like, it's just like a whole thing of things that she had to deal with, and then get up and take her son to school and, you know, and do the same thing at her house. So then she had to leave my house at 8, 9 o'clock, go take care of her son, and do the same thing the next day. Or go to work, you know, have a day off, and then do the same thing the next day. So I am so grateful to God for her, because she really wasn't gonna let me stay in there. Like, it was no choice. Like, she was, you know, if you need counseling, I'm picking you up and taking you. If you need medicine, I'm taking you to the doctor. Like when I first tried medication, I was extremely anxious. And she came, I went in, at the doctor, and my doctor is slower than molasses. So like imagine a dead snail. That's how slow my doctor is. Like he don't move ever. So I didn't know that. The person told me, that recommended me to the doctor, was like, he's a really good doctor. You're going to be there for a while, so just kind of prepare. So I'm like, okay, I got my computer and stuff. I'm cool. I didn't know they meant like 5 or 6 hours. And I literally was there for 5 or 6 hours. And so she left work and came up there and sat with me because I was freaking out. Like, what the heck? So first of all, it's like depression. I ain't got no depression. I'm fine. Actually, no, I'm not. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, and then my heart was racing and I felt anxiety in my body. People that battle with anxiety too, they know that you feel it. Sometimes you can feel it. Sometimes it's in your head, but sometimes you can actually feel it in your body. And you know, it manifests in different ways. So, and for me, anxiety would be like in my arms and in my legs. It would feel like, you know how if your leg is asleep and you try to like wake it up, it's like that annoying feeling. That's how it would feel all through my body. So I sat in the waiting room for about 6 hours before I went to the back. Then I finally get to the back to wait another hour and a half for him to come in. Annoying, right? But she came up there, she sat with me, you know, she talked, she's like, okay, well, what's up, you know, tried to get my mind off of it because I was extremely anxious. But again, she left work, and then I'm sure she had to go back to work and stay later, you know, later than normal, because she still had work to do. She's a manager, like, she's, you know, no, don't say it. Okay, I won't say it. She is, though. She's the she said, Christina, thank you for being a great friend. Unfortunately, it's sad how many people are willing to give up. I applaud you. You're an angel. That's what Tiffany said.
Not an angel at all.
Well, she was definitely my angel, definitely sent by God to just be there. And like I said, you know, Christina, if anybody knows Christina, they know that, you know, she's like real cool, you know, but she don't do like up and down stupid emotions. Oh, Tiffany's on here. Tiffany.
Hey.
What's up, Tiffany? So, you know, she's not one to be like, look, she'd be like, look, if you're in a bad mood, that's fine, you know, just call me later. But she never once did that to me. And I seriously would go off about nothing. Like, nothing. So I'm grateful to have her, and I thank God for her, and some of my other mentors that didn't judge me at all. Like even at church, I would have people to be like, well, you ain't been to church, that's why you still depressed. I'm like, no. The people that died in my life that I'm still grieving, that's why I'm still depressed, because they're still dead. Yep, they're still dead, and I don't know how to cope with death, so I'm still depressed. Yep. You know, thank you. And by the way, I'm not coming back next Sunday because of that comment. So peace. But there were my spiritual parents, I would say, Pastor Flynn and Minister Rhonda, that would, you know, pray with me, wouldn't force me, wouldn't like, girl, you know you need to be in church, get up in here. You know, they slowly helped me to come back. Like, okay, well, just come to Sunday school. And I would be like, well, I can't pray. I have nothing to say. I feel empty inside or whatever. And she would be like, okay, we'll just start by playing one of your favorite worship songs, or play one of your favorite, like, you know, Christian songs, you know, to start off with. And then, you know, after you do that for a couple of days, try to play 2, you know, and then maybe you can pray. But if not, then the next day just kind of play 3. And so she gave me like practical advice to do while they prayed me through it. It was no judgment. It wasn't like, what you mean you can't pray? God already know how you feel. Well, yeah, he does. But then I feel bad for feeling like this. So then it's like, well, God, you ain't make me to be sad, right? So why am I sad? Now I'm a loser. Now I'm a horrible Christian because I'm sad. It's like just this downward spiral that you can go through. And but they never once made me feel that way, ever. And I would tell them what people would say, and they would just be disappointed because they're like, well, you know, the people that are not saved, this is why they stay away from the church. Because everybody always talking about, you can't do this, you can't do that, can't do this, you can't do that. And yeah, but, you know, when if you're trying to sell something to somebody, you're not gonna tell them all the features that they can't do. Like, actually, this vacuum is great, but it does not pick up dust. It does not pick up Skittles. Like, you're not doing that. So, anyway, they just helped me through that a lot. And so, I'm always grateful, and I'm always just grateful to God for that horrible season, because it was really tough. I mean, it's really hard on yourself, on your family. If you have children, it's hard on everybody that's involved in your life that's really committed to helping, because it's such it's like such a it's such a sadness. I mean, you know, like, even to be around me would be like, you would leave crying for no reason. Like, you might look at me and just cry, like, I'm out of here, I can't do this. Like, what you crying for? It was just because of how I looked. I mean, you know. So I'm grateful for that. And I think that's why it's important when you're picking friendships, you know, or picking, of course you don't know how everybody's going to respond, but it's good to have friends that are like ride or die. Like, no, I'm coming in this pit and I'm taking you out. You're not about to be depressed forever. You're not about to commit suicide, because I did think about it. Because I was like, yeah, this world would definitely be better without me. I'm too much of a burden, too sad. I got my friend coming over here every other day, cleaning up, taking care of the kids. If I was just gone, you know, my husband can use insurance money to hire a nanny or whatever. And then my friend wouldn't be so stressed, right? Because who wants to be a stress to their friend? So, but that's it. I don't really have anything else to add. I just wanted you guys to hear straight from her, because she, you know, was like, I'm not throwing you no rope down in that pit. Like, she put the rope down in there and a ladder, and like, she like climbed in there, like, no, you go first, and like pushed me out of it. So, you know, it's amazing. It's like, you know, the true love, the agape, the unconditional love that God references, you know, because she loved me even when I was rude to her for no reason. I mean, who knows why I was so rude? She even gave me another name, because she was like, you know, I just didn't care about nothing, and I didn't want to do anything, and I wasn't doing it. I don't care. You don't want to be my friend no more? Okay. So does anybody have any other questions or anything before I close? If anybody has any personal questions or questions that they would like to ask privately, you can always email me at info@IamFierceLove.com. You can visit my website, put your email address in there, so when I update it soon, you'll get some information. Imani says she loves us both. I love you too. Or you can inbox me. I am a licensed clinical social worker, so I'm not about to help you diagnose people, but I can, you know, try to point you in the right direction. If you have someone that's suffering, or if you think you are suffering, I can kind of help you with resources and things like that. So, any questions or anything? If not, I'm about to go in about 35 seconds. Tiffany, you done joined. You ain't got nothing to say? Tiffany Thomas? Tiff? Oh my gosh. Okay, no questions, no comments. Or if you have any other questions about even just being a support to a friend, you can email me. Good night, Tiffany. If you guys have any questions or whatever, you can always inbox me, email me. But do visit my website. It's IamFierceLove.com, and join our mailing list, so that when I mail something out in the next, I don't know how many days, you'll get it. See you tomorrow, Tiff. And that's it. So any questions, comments, whatever, feel free to chat, you know, comment in the chat. I'll reply, inbox me, or email me. All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.